She stood frozen as the bulldozer tore apart her outdoor fireplace, her hands shaking in disbelief. The workers handed her a cold letter from the HOA, dismissing her completely. But what happened next would shock everyone, even the HOA itself. A fight no one saw coming. But let's start from the beginning. Lily Turner had always embraced the tranquility of her suburban life in Westwood, California. Her backyard was her sanctuary, a peaceful retreat from the stress of her demanding job. At the heart of this oasis was a stone fireplace she'd built herself, a labor of love and pride. It wasn't just a structure. It was a testament to her dedication, her creativity, and her connection to the home she had worked so tirelessly to own. Then, one Saturday morning, everything changed. Lily was jolted awake by the roar of bulldozers outside her window. Confused and disoriented, she rushed outside to find workers from the HOA dismantling her precious fireplace. No warning, no explanation, just cold, mechanical destruction. Within minutes, the fireplace she'd poured so much of herself into was reduced to rubble. When Lily demanded an explanation, one of the workers handed her a letter from the HOA explaining that her fireplace was in violation of community guidelines. The letter was vague, offering no clarity or details, and it made no mention of any previous warnings or complaints. Her heart sank. This was more than just an inconvenience. It was an assault on something deeply personal. How could they destroy a part of her home, something she had built with her own hands, without even the decency of a conversation? Standing amid the wreckage, Lily felt a surge of helplessness. She had worked so hard for this moment of peace, only to have it ripped away without warning or reason. Her home, once a symbol of accomplishment and comfort, now felt cold and foreign. The weight of it all crushed her, leaving her stunned and powerless in the wake of the destruction. As the days dragged on, the initial shock of the destruction faded, replaced by an overwhelming surge of anger and confusion. Lily couldn't shake the sense of betrayal that gripped her every waking moment. The more she thought about it, the more the injustice burned inside her. She turned to the community's rules and regulations, desperate for answers. Hours slipped by as she pored over every page, every clause, trying to make sense of why her fireplace had been singled out. It wasn't long before she uncovered a shocking revelation. The HOA had recently implemented new guidelines for backyard structures, yet her fireplace had been built long before these changes. Her heart sank. The structure she had lovingly crafted, following every rule to the letter, had never been a problem until now. And then, the truth hit her like a slap in the face. Other homes in the neighborhood, some with far more severe violations, were left untouched. The HOA had never touched those properties. Lily's blood began to boil. The more she researched, the clearer it became. This wasn't about rules. It was about power. The HOA wasn't a neutral authority, ensuring fairness for all. It was a weapon wielded against those it deemed troublesome. She found stories of other residents who had been targeted for speaking out or for simply being on the HOA's radar. Her mind raced. She wasn't just a homeowner. She was a target. Her hatred intensified. It wasn't just about the fireplace anymore. It was about principle. It was about standing up to a system that wasn't just enforcing rules. It was playing favorites, bullying those it could. The anger that had simmered for days now boiled over. Lily wasn't going to let them get away with it. Not now. Not ever. Fueled by the sting of betrayal and an overwhelming desire for justice, Lily took the first step toward reclaiming control over her life. She sought out legal counsel and found Clara Mitchell, a lawyer whose reputation for taking on powerful adversaries spoke volumes. Clara was a sharp, no-nonsense woman, quick to assess the situation. Within moments of hearing Lily's story, she was convinced that they had a solid case. The lawyer's confident demeanor gave Lily a sense of hope she hadn't felt in days. Together, They filed a lawsuit against the HOA, charging wrongful destruction of property and violation of her homeowner rights. For the first time since the bulldozers had torn through her backyard, Lily felt something akin to power coursing through her veins. Every recollection of that fateful morning, the cold, methodical destruction of the fireplace she had poured her heart into, still triggered an explosion of fury inside her. But now, she was no longer paralyzed by disbelief. She was no longer frozen in shock. Now, she was ready to fight back, ready to confront the system that had tried to strip away not just her property, but her dignity. The HOA responded swiftly, their legal team armed with a barrage of jargon meant to intimidate. They claimed the demolition had been within their rights, dismissing Lily's case as trivial, as a matter not worth their time. But Clara Mitchell was unflinching. She saw the weakness in their argument, the hypocrisy in their actions. The more the HOA pushed back, the more resolute Lily became. This wasn't just about her broken fireplace. It was about challenging a system that had bullied so many others before her. The legal battle wasn't quick, nor was it easy. It dragged on for months, long, grueling hours spent preparing the case, poring over legal documents, gathering witness testimonies, and accumulating evidence. Lily's hands trembled with exhaustion, but there was no turning back now. Each document she filed, each strategy meeting she attended, only reinforced her belief that this fight was bigger than her. It was about standing up for every person who had ever been wronged by the HOA. Lily wasn't just fighting for justice for herself. She was fighting to expose the hypocrisy that had poisoned her community. Months passed in a blur of tense motions, strategic moves, and long days spent preparing for battle. The fight had been brutal, the stakes high, but Lily never faltered. Then, the day arrived. The judge's ruling was swift, cutting through the tension in the courtroom like a knife. It was a decisive victory. Lily had won. The HOA was ordered to pay the full cost of rebuilding her fireplace and awarded additional damages for the emotional distress they had caused her. The victory wasn't just hers, though. It reverberated through the entire neighborhood. It set a precedent for how the HOA could treat its residents going forward, a reminder that their unchecked power had limits. Standing in her newly rebuilt backyard, Lily gazed at the stone fireplace, its towering presence a testament to everything she had fought for. It wasn't just a structure anymore. It was a symbol of resilience, of standing up against the odds. She had rebuilt it with her own hands once, and now it was rising from the rubble again, stronger than ever. It reflected her strength, her determination, and her refusal to be silenced. As she sat by the fire, the warmth of the flames wrapped around her like a long-awaited embrace. It wasn't just the physical heat that filled her. It was a sense of inner peace, the kind that comes from knowing justice had been served. The flames crackled softly, as though echoing the warmth in her chest. She had won. She had proven, both to herself and to everyone around her, that no matter how daunting the challenge, standing firm for what was right always mattered. The satisfaction of victory wasn't simply in the legal win. It was in the battle itself. Lily had fought back against a powerful system, faced down its intimidation, and had come out on top. She had faced an injustice and turned it into something meaningful. In the end, it wasn't just about rebuilding her fireplace. It was about rebuilding her own sense of power. She had fought for justice, and now she knew that no matter what came next, she was ready.